everybody.
It's Disney Detonation coming at you from the Transformative Content Fairview Studios in New Jersey. I am your host, and today's episode will be there'll be two segments, You Be the Judge, and then we're going to talk about Trail's End. So my wife gave me a challenge to find some content in Trail's End, which was really tough because, they didn't have like one food item that everyone wanted to try, so I had to try to figure something out. Hopefully it worked out the best for me or for you or for both of us. So let me shrink myself down. So there's 3 parts to You Be the Judge today. There's going to be, you know what? Let me just get right into it.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
So it's going to be 3 segments inside the one segment. It's going to be, are the vloggers pivoting out, trying to go outside of the Disney theme parks or theme parks in general because of some of the stuff that PC Dev said, which I don't know to be true or not to be true. He was saying that, like, because you can see, there's all kinds of new analytics that you can see through YouTube, and one of them is how people get to your website or get to a specific video that you posted. And he was saying that people are not coming to his website or his videos searching for theme parks. So I thought that was interesting. And then he said he's pivoting, and like, I don't know if you've been on his site lately. I mean, he's still doing Disney content, but he is doing other stuff. He's kind of also going into health and dieting and things of that nature. And JoJo said the other day, well, actually, he had a vlog today where he was on the United Emirates plane, and he's going to Dubai or however you say it. And now we have Nate. So let's get right into this.
But I'm glad that I'm doing them now. I'm glad that I'm out there seeing the world and living my dream because I've always just wanted to travel. So I'm doing that. I'm literally doing what I always wanted to do.
I thought you wanted to retire and become a monorail pilot.
And I love that I get to bring you guys along with me. So I have Boston, I have Toronto, I have Salem. We're going to be doing Salem down the road. And then in the meantime, I'm going to be back in Florida, making videos in the parks, and then moving along. I know you guys love to see the Disney content, and I love going to Disney. I mean, this is my home. But I do like showing you guys like other cities and stuff like that. I think it's awesome to bring the way that
You mean your vlogging style? He's trying to describe his vlogging style here.
Kind of have fun and bring it, like the way that I make my videos and have fun. I want to do that in other places, and I hope that you guys enjoy them. A lot of you guys do. I'm so shocked. I'm so just happy with the overall support.
Yeah, when he's gone to other places, he's done just fine. He doesn't need to do just theme parks. And the theme parks are so repetitive. I mean, it's the same rides. It's the same festivals year in, year out. I mean, it is nice to kind of follow along as a Disney fan, but if you start moving outside of your theme park realm, I think you're going to get more and more. You're going to be surprised how many more subscribers you're going to get.
We'll be back on the normal schedule with Disney once the summertime ends and it's not so crazy hot out. But in the meantime, I'm going to go explore the world, and I'm going to bring you guys along with me. But anywho's, I hope you enjoyed the videos. I enjoyed making.
Okay, so are the Disney vloggers pivoting and going out there outside of their safe zone or whatever you want to call it and start vlogging other cities, other venues? You be the judge. Okay, so the next one is the trio of Promise Hope, LVB TV vlog, and Right Up Main Street. They all showed up to Trail's End with the same T-shirt that LBV is pimping, is her merchandise. So my thought is that she said, all right, let's all do a combined vlog, go to Trail's End, and by the way, here's my shirt, and sent them all a copy of her fall or line of shirt or Disney line of shirt. I don't even know how she gets away with some of this stuff because she's got to be smart when it comes to this because she's not getting copyright struck, and she's wearing this stuff in the parks on Disney property and still manages. It's almost like she's doing a commercial. But let's get into it.
It's Triple the Trouble here on LBV TV, where we are doing Trail's End. A lot of T's. Triple the Trouble, Trail's End.
So they didn't practice that either, right? Triple the Trouble, Trail's End. That was a coincidence too.
And we're getting to try all the new foods here at Trails End, as well as not trying to dress alike from shoplbv.com, link in bio. Okay, but before we go in, this could be a controversial vlog. You're probably like, Trails End controversial? No. So, a lot of people aren't necessarily thrilled about losing the original
Now here is, she's definitely using the word controversial correctly in this particular situation. So, you don't probably, nobody cares or knows, but Trails End used to be an all you care to eat or all you care to enjoy buffet for lunch, dinner. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I think. And I am a veteran of Fort Wilderness Resort, and so this was a really great place to go. I mean, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And now they've changed it into a lounge slash grab and go and sort of a sit down, but not really. I mean, because the sit down is you basically pull the grab and go stuff, and I think the only thing that's cooked there, immediately, except for the lounge side, is pizza. I think all the other stuff is under heat lamps on the Trails End side.
Dining that happened here, where you got to sit down with a giant buffet, all you can eat, prefix menu with the big, of course, hearty breakfast and dinner, stuff like that. I never ate here, so full disclosure, I don't know what it was like before to compare it to. But a lot of people said they love it. Like, if you are a fan of Fort Wilderness, let me know. Are you sad about the change? There's a major change behind me. Can you tell what it is?
Yeah, all of the rocking chairs are gone. So that used to not be, and I don't even want to say that's a like a wheelchair run, or I forget what a handicap, not bridge, but whatever. It's just for the scooter people. Look how wide it is. It's for people who ride scooters. It's
They got rid of the rocking chairs. Oh, if you know what I'm talking about, there's amazing rocking chairs usually.
Right. All right. So the next one up is Promise Hope.
I promise you, we did not plan this, but we have 1, 2, and 3 little pumpkins.
That's because we're excited about Halloween, which literally starts in 2 days.
And when you're at Fort Wilderness, it just gives you Halloween vibes.
I guess we were all feeling.
Now, Halloween starts in 2 days in Disney World. This was, I think, put up on the 1st or the 2nd. It's almost a quarter of a year before Halloween. So man, Disney's pumping it,
On the Halloween vibes. Yeah, we were. And in case you didn't know, Maria is actually the one who made our awesome Mickey pumpkin shirts.
And I actually designed, even the words, I was like, let's make it a not so scary corn maze.
I love
it. A poison apple, not a candy apple.
Yeah, and she's using Mickey, so I guess just, it could be Mickey's Irish Ale or Mickey's whatever, but I mean, I don't know how she's getting away with it. But anyway, so now the third one is right up Main Street.
Guys, what is going on here? I get onto the bus.
Pumpkin party.
We're seeing triple. I get onto the bus and I see Maria wearing this shirt, the same shirt as me.
And then you text me and say, what shirt are you wearing? And I go, pumpkin.
And all 3 of us are wearing the same shirt.
This happens all the time without us even trying.
Yeah.
But also, Halloween starts soon, and the Headless Horseman's coming back.
Yes.
So I thought pumpkin, the announcement with Actually,
Yeah, it happens all the time because probably right before you say, hey, let's all vlog together, I'm sending you, here's a shirt.
I don't think it's even been announced. You're hearing it here
There's a
first.
cowboy behind you.
Howdy. Hello.
Oh, that's nice to see a cast member come up. I mean, at least there's still some, Disney magic or camaraderie, I guess you'd say, where the cast members they see these people vlogging and they're going to, to interact with them. That's nice to see. At least we haven't lost that yet.
Behind you.
I really wish we were joking, guys. That is a true story. We did not plan any of this. Just goes to show that these shirts are great. If you want to shop for it yourself, visit the link in the description or shoplbv.com.
Okay, so I'm not going to say another word. Were they, as far as what my evidence is? So they all showed up at the place with the same shirt, and they all claimed that it was not planned. Was it planned? Was it a commercial for her merchandise? You be the judge. Okay, so the next one is I'm going to kind of just go in it without saying what the crux of my thought is here as far as what you should be the judge about. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to comment through it.
And then so they give you I think you can go to Beer Garden, you can do think
You know, I wish I had someone to film me the whole time, kind of like a reality TV show.
He wishes he had someone to videotape him all the time, kind of like a reality show. So explain to me what a vlog is. Is that not a reality show?
It'd make things so much more interesting. That's why you guys...
So if somebody was to walk around and follow him with a camera, that would be so much more interesting than his vlog.
I just saw this really weird shot of them.
And there's nothing. There was a really weird shot of them. They're walking together. They're walking in World Showcase, having a conversation about the beer garden. What is weird about that?
I wanted to catch something authentic while they're chatting.
So that begets the question. So when you're videotaping yourself and you're talking, none of this is authentic? I mean, isn't that what vlogging is? It's you being authentic, having a conversation about what's going on around you and your experiences and blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on, man. All right, so here's my second piece of evidence.
Imagine if we had a reality TV show here of me just going to the parks every single day. That'd be insane. And still post daily.
Wouldn't that be insane? That if I had my own reality show where people follow me around all day in the theme parks, and then I had my vlogging as well. I mean, like, there's nothing appealing to me I don't even. So what would be the context of your reality show? You going on rides and eating food and having cocktails? I mean, maybe I can understand if it was like a cast member, but dude, I mean, it's kind of funny.
It'd be fun. I just can't afford to keep recording for hours and hours and hours, you know?
Okay. You can't afford to keep recording for hours and hours and hours. It's my understanding that this is your entire job. Your job is to vlog. This is how you make a living. You vlog. So where's the costs for recording for hours and hours and hours? Like, do you need a larger SD card? Do you need multiple I gotta hear that again.
I just can't afford to keep recording for hours and hours and hours, you know? Anyways, that's my random thought right now.
He reminds me when I was in my 20s and I come up with these like ridiculous thoughts while I'm driving. I'm like, all right, if I just press a button, I can turn my car into a plane and fly over all of this traffic. I mean, like, what is he talking about? Like, and these thoughts were like, I'd have these thoughts, but I wouldn't say them on camera and put them out for everyone to see. I mean, dude, you put this out. You put this out there. I mean, listen, I like the guy's content, a lot of the content, but I mean, maybe I've missed stuff like this in the past because I hadn't watched every show. I hadn't started this channel where I'm watching more and more content. But my God, dude. All right, so is he completely self-absorbed here, like exponentially out of the stratosphere? You be the judge. All right, so that's that. And now we're going to go on to boom. We're going to go on. So this is next little piece. This next clip I got is of Kylo Paolo's same vlog that he did where he did that little snippet about how he wants to be a Disney World reality TV star. And I'm going to play it now.
25 minutes.
Wow. Is going on with that line? You sure you guys want to go on that?
Okay, so it's a 25-minute wait to get on the Living Lands. That ride is usually a walk-on. Okay, so unless it's like pouring rain outside and everyone's like rushing into the Lands Pavilion, you never wait to get on that ride. It's like it's ridiculous. So it's another, in my opinion, example of how Genie Plus is pushing people onto certain rides and trying to make it seem as though you need to pay for this more. You need to pay. They're trying to corral you into buying this service. Now, every year that I go, this is what a nerd I am. I wear a digital watch and I time myself. I look at the posted time. I time myself, and then I go, and then I see how long it takes me to get onto the ride. Now, in the past, it's been really accurate, but in the past 3 years, no, not accurate. I mean, I don't remember how many standby rides I went on last year, but it was like you're talking 20 minutes less than the posted standby time. Now, PC Dev did a. I wish I had cut and pasted. I wish I had copied the clip. He went on the mine train the other day. The posted time was 90 minutes. He was on the ride in 45 minutes. That's half the posted time. And the mine train is an e-ticket ride. So it's like if you want to cut the line there, if you wanted to, it's a again, what was it? The Flash Pass, or that's Six Flag? It's the Lightning Lane Pass. So you have to pay. So they're doubling the wait times to get you to buy the extra, not only the Genie Plus, which you pay $15 to $30 a day, the additional fee. They're tricking you into buying that additional fee. That really irritated me. All right, so let's get back to Trail's End, and this first one is LVB.
You give it a go. Here you go. All right, okay. Oh no, that's so hard. No, I'm good. No. Fun fact, I'm really not supposed to eat meat due to no colon, still rolling. But if it's really soft, really tender, I can eat it. That rib was really hard. When it wasn't pulling apart, I'm like, oh, that's a bad sign. Promise like the chicken, so let's see. It pulled apart, at least. Oh, it's very good. It's the hoop-de-doo chicken. Yeah. Very good. And soft. Chicken is good. It's super soft.
Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. She's a pretty girl. She's a smart girl. But I mean, if you have all these bowel issues, why are you doing food vlogs? I guess maybe you brought these two with you, but like how? Like, my feeling is if you're doing a food vlog, you're giving a critique of the food. You can't eat any of this food, and when you do, you're getting sick from it. Like, so why would you even bother doing it? Just focus on those two and let them eat. I mean, that's just my opinion there. All right, so the next one is WDW News. Their website is very informative website. Their YouTube channel is very informative. I think, especially if you just want to get like a view of something, like if a new restaurant comes up, they'll just go in, they'll videotape the restaurant without anyone talking, just so you can see the layout of the restaurant. They also do other things. A lot of the things I don't watch. I watch their news program. I forget what it's called. It's basically like a regular news program with a guy behind a desk, reporting on Disney World news. Like, so so if you watch the news, it's that, but just Disney World. And then he interjects some things that sometimes he can be very irritating. I mean, like, he was a total shill for the Galactic Star Cruiser, which I thought from the get was terrible, especially when I found out that they were not using any legacy characters. It was basically going to be all on the last three movies. But anyway, so let's get into this. I'm going to show you this. This is the WDW News tour of Crockett's Tavern and Trail's End. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is look at these. Does this look like good theming for a Frontier? So this Fort Wilderness is themed or at least it was, in the way that Frontierland is themed. And does this look like anything that you would see in the Old West? Onyx tabletops on these barrels. I mean, you'd see like gunpowder or something on these things in past theming. I mean, this literally reminds me of, I had family that lived in Long Island that had like a finished basement where they had like a $20,000 pool table and literally I think they had these same barrels and with onyx tops on it. Like, that was 40 years ago in Long Island. At least they still play the theme music. And from my recollection, they didn't. I think there's 6 chairs here. They didn't have a sit-down bar. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to going here now. I mean, look at these tables. What about that is like the rustic West? Let's shoot some pool. Where's the $30,000 pool table? All right. So the next one is the Diz, and it's Rhino, and he went there, and he's doing the outro. And the reason why I'm playing this is there's something interesting he says, as far as I'm concerned, at the end of this clip, which gave me pause. So let's get into this.
More. As Craig said earlier, he said, I know what he was saying about making this quick service versus the buffet that it was before. I think I'd only really eaten here once when it was like the family style sort of thing with the skillet, and it's all coming back, it's all coming back to me now. And yeah, I can see why some people would be sad, but as somebody who recently stayed here, yet again, humble brag, I feel like one of my biggest complaints about being here, and Craig visited me in the cabin on one of those complaining days, was that like the access to quick service food was incredibly limited. So it was kind of like you had to be coming to one of the restaurants or like the grab and go. And so like I feel like this kind of really expands on that and fills in a gap that was kind of needed here. Maybe in the future they'll build another a dining establishment somewhere on the campgrounds. I'd love to see that, because this is definitely far and above my favorite Disney resort. No question for me. And I'll be sad when it turns into a DVC resort. Whatever.
I got to play that again. That one spot. Come on.
More. As Craig said earlier, far and above my favorite Disney resort. No question for me. And I'll be sad when it turns into a DVC resort.
When it turns into a DVC resort. Now, I think I kind of touched on it at the beginning of this episode. So it's the Fort Wilderness Resort, which is a campground. Now, so it's the cheapest place you can stay at in Disney World. You can literally pitch a tent and stay at this resort, and it's humongous. Okay, so they're gonna turn it. I mean, what he says makes sense. Like you turn it into a DVC, you're certainly gonna get a lot more money than $80 a day. For some of these, I think it's $80 a day for a campsite. I don't know, like there's different levels, like in different hookups where you get water, blah blah blah. But can you imagine if they turn this place into a DVC? That depresses me. Now so back in the day they had this water park, this small water park before Typhoon Lagoon, before Blizzard Beach, called River Country, and I can't tell you how many times I've been there. They closed it down. I think the ongoing thought is there was some sort of amoeba in the lake water where somebody got sick, so they shut it down. I don't know that to be true or not, but they had all this property to the left of, I can't remember what the hall is called where the Hoop-de-Doo Review is, but there's a name for it. They had all this property there that they were going to put a resort on, but because of COVID, because of I think economic issues or some other issues, I don't know what they were. They actually broke ground, from my understanding. You could see it from Bay Lake. I don't know if you can see it from the Disney World transportation, or if you take like one of their speedboats or pontoon boats, you can see it. They stopped it, so they were going to have that, resort there. That gives me pause in the sense that maybe they are going to go DVC. Hopefully, they don't do it in my lifetime for all this other property, but because they stopped this other project, maybe that's not going to happen. Maybe that'll happen later than sooner, as far as turning it into DVC. But that kind of was like, wow, he's got an excellent point there, and I do not like that at all. All right, so the next one is Theme Park Foodies. They went to the Trails Inn, and I thought this was a little funny. They were there. They went to Crockett's Tavern. They were having a couple cocktails, and he kind of had a little. You'll see. Let's just play the clip.
Steps here. I'm not sure what these things are, but they kind of look like are they belt buckles or something? They look like gears, right? Do you know what these are? Let us know. Look at that.
Those are stirrups for cowboy boots. They use those to make the horse go faster.
Someone's like a 5-point sheriff star. All right, so that does it for our time checking out Crockett's Tavern. Actually, I should have brought this up earlier. Davy Crockett was the original inspiration for the theme of Frontierland over at Disneyland, which is why...
I don't know that to be true. At the time that the Frontierland opened, or Frontierland, the whole Disneyland opened, Davy Crockett was the #1 television show on television. That beeping you hear is the humidifier in this room. It's just telling me that it's full, and that's very annoying. But I'm just going to ignore it. All right, so keep playing that.
The Frontier, I was about to call it Frontierland. The Wilderness campgrounds kind of have a Frontierland, a Davy Crockett type of theme.
Are we okay?
Yeah, are we okay? Hey, listen, this guy was a professional wrestler, so he's been dropped on his head a couple of times. Cut him a break. I mean, like, I played football for a while. Cut us a little break there. I did the same thing here on this YouTube channel. All right, so the next is the Princess and the Bear. They're vloggers. I really like their vlogs because they go out and test they test food and mostly alcoholic beverages, and they give you like a rating system. And I feel as though that their description of the drinks are more accurate. I want to say, but they're really good for that type of thing. They're not as entertaining as Nate. They're more like informational. So, but this is their outro to their visit to Crockett's Tavern, and they say something at the end here that I think is very important, like as far as like etiquette at the parks, or more so etiquette at the restaurants that serve alcohol.
Trails Inn / Crockett Tavern reimagining is interesting, to say the least.
It's very much a reminiscent of its old self, but totally different. Like, even here where we're standing, there's no more rocking chairs. There's no more tables. Everything is topsy-turvy, but also, like,
a lot of the same.
The same.
I will say that the biggest improvement comes in the form of Crockett's Tavern. I think it's the way that it operates now, with like the having limited sort of tapas menu, and then sort of having more inside seating they had before, works really well for Crockett's Tavern. As far as Trails Inn, that feels sort of tacked together and sort of like confusing. Like a lot of people not really understanding how it works, because like you can walk up to the counter and grab things, but you have to order your food at the register. There's some kinks to work out. But I think overall, it's still okay.
There is a little bit of confusion. Like, the Crockett's Tavern area that we were sitting is the lounge area. So if you order food from Trails Inn, you're not really supposed to sit over there unless you're ordering food there. And they're trying to enforce that, but there were a lot of people there that just kind of didn't care and just followed their own rules. And some of them got admonished, and some of them, the cast member was okay with it. So
yeah, and there it is. So if the Crockett's Tavern side serves alcohol, so the bartender's getting tipped there. So you're taking space up. You're taking money out of these cast members' pockets by sitting there and glomming up spaces and not caring. I mean, and I see that all over the place. I mean, granted, so in Disney, like in most bars across the country, or at least in New Jersey, you can't sit at the bar unless you're 18, and in most cases 21. So in Disney World and Universal, you can put a kid at the bar. So that's fine if the place is empty. But if it's so crowded that you are going into this lounge area and you're taking a spot from somebody who's using the lounge, who's buying alcohol from the bartender, and I'm quite certain there's also waitresses there, you're taking money out of their pockets. You're going over to the grab and go, and then you're sitting in an area where people are getting served drinks and served food, who are tipping their servers. So I mean, don't do that. You're an asshole. Okay, stop.
So you just gotta take that as it is. Don't do it. Just go sit outside or in Trails End. Don't take up somebody's lounge spot just because you can't find a spot readily available.
I mean, there's been times where I've been. I think it was at what is it, Tiffin's, where we're sitting there. And we're done with our food. We're just kind of like waiting for the bill, whatever. And I see people sitting and taking up spots that aren't. I guess Tiffin's is a bad representation because they're pretty strict there. I can't remember where it was, but I actually went to. I saw somebody come in. It was a couple. They didn't have any kids. They wanted to sit at the bar that we were at, and I'm like, I got up. I said, "Listen, we're leaving. We're leaving in a couple minutes. You know, here you go." So they. Yeah.
Now there are still plenty of benches outside here, like in the grassy knoll areas, and then across where the parking is.
Permanent bench areas now, not and like makeshift ones.
The walk-up window for Crockett's Tavern is still for you to order all the drinks. So the spirit of Crockett's Tavern and Trails End is still very much alive here at the Wilderness Campground.
Yeah, it's just so basically what it is. Trails End is like P&J's Southern Takeout, right? And then Crockett's Tavern is like expanded into a lounge. So basically, we have the quick service the way it needed to be, and the bar the way it needed to be, but we took away the buffet. We still have Hoopty, but we need one more restaurant at Fort Wilderness. We need a table service restaurant here. Something.
I agree with her. Yeah, the reason why I keep looking over to my left-hand side is that I have a weather station that gives me the temperature outside and also in this room, and I'm sweating my butt off. It's 84 degrees in here because the window unit is right next to me, and if I don't shut it off, you can't hear anything off the mic, and so I'm like, I'm dying. I got one more segment here, and then I'm done. So the next one is the WDW News Outro, which is the guy that I was telling you about who does this Disney news vlog. So let's just get into it because he parrots a lot of what I was thinking before when they were showing you they were giving you the tour of Crockett's Tavern, and he brought up some points that I didn't even remember about pictures and stuff like that, and some of the theming that had been there prior because I haven't been there in a couple of years, so I didn't. But when he started discussing these things, I started remembering it.
Number two, the interior is awful. This is awful. It's very modern. That ordering area with the food is extraordinarily.
He's talking about the theming in Crockett's Tavern.
Modern and out of place. It looks like everything else they've been doing with room remodels at Wilderness Lodge and Fort Wilderness, what they're doing with the cabins coming up. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look like it belongs there at all. It's very modern and clean and is not what Fort Wilderness is. Also, like, I can't understand who that art was offending. Like, if that art had been left on the wall, what that would have done to people, right? It's people on horses or in covered wagons. Like, who did that offend? Why was it decided it was better to have just pots and pans and it looks like Cracker Barrel. It actually looks like a Cracker Barrel now, albeit a very clean Cracker Barrel, but a Cracker Barrel nonetheless. And then to leave the name Crockett's Tavern, there's no inkling of who the place is named after, right? They removed the portrait. The Mike Fink keelboat is gone, the big one they had in the glass case. None of that was worked into the establishment. Someone was like, oh, we got to take this Davy Crockett picture off the wall. Well, what are we replacing it with? I don't know, a bunch of wagon wheels? It doesn't even look good. It doesn't look like anything. It's too many wagon wheels on a wall. Clearly done in a decorative way, right? It's not a story or theming element where they're like stored there. This is like if you decided, oh, I'm going to open a restaurant chain where we serve country fixins, and what are we going? Oh, well, we'll go to Home Goods and we'll buy a bunch of Western looking things at Home Goods and put them on the wall, and that's not theming. That's not theming. That's decorating. Theming is when you tell a story with the propping and the design of the establishment. And we're no longer doing that at Fort Wilderness. And
they did have stirrup pieces and a sheriff's badge embedded in the stairs. So there was a tiny attempt at theming there.
Wilderness has died. And when the cabins arrive, it'll be no more. It will no longer be a thing. Hoop-de-doo will be the last piece, really, of that resort that at all carries out the story and the theme. That's it. I mean, Tri-Circle D got modernized. They've ripped out everything else. I don't look. I'm not the Fort Wilderness crowd, but I cannot imagine that this better serves them. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way,
you're not wrong.
It's not Disney. It is
Great
unequivocally
Adventure.
Not Disney quality.
Six Flags.
For a company that keeps going on and on about how important story is, they continue to do a tremendous job ripping it out of everything or diluting that story.
Ripping it out of everything or diluting that story. I mean, if that's not a statement of, if that's not indicative of the state of Disney and how they operate and how they continue to operate, I don't know what is. And it's a sad state of affairs because nobody wants to see this happen. Nobody wants to see the theming go away. Nobody wants to see the ridiculous price gouging, and but it is what it is, and that's that. All right, so that's the end of this vlog. I'm glad whoever's watching is watching, and now it's time to end transmission.